Hey guys, it's Amora here, and welcome to my first Sims build. I don't know what I was actually trying to do at the start of this build. I think just a starter home was probably what I was going for. I wasn't quite sure of the build style I wanted to go. I guess it's kind of a more modern or contemporary style. Also, bear in mind, I don't have all the stuff packs as well, and I've been playing The Sims since. I don't really play Sims 1, but I've played basically since Sims 2, but I've never been much of a builder. So this build was quite challenging because I don't usually build, like, if I do, it's very simple. The outside looks usually is very, I guess, almost cottage feel, or I don't know the right style to use, but definitely not very modern. Whereas the inside, I always tend to use modern furniture. But my aim for this build was much more modern and trying to step out of my comfort level in this build. I don't know how well I did. The outside, I quite like the outside, although I'm not sure how well everything matches. But I'm quite impressed. It's my first, well, it's not my first time, but I haven't used move objects very much. I, yeah, am really not used to doing all this architecture and all this, but it's actually a very interesting build. There's not much going on the inside. When I got to that, I found there was not a lot of space. As you can see, my roof does not match too well. I had to fix that. And then trying to figure out a fence that I wanted. I really wanted a more modern fence because really, if you look, I'm basing it a lot on the door I had, which to me seems a lot more modern. So I was trying to go with that style. But none of the fences I really liked. And also, being a starter home, which I guess was then the plan for this build, was I had to try and keep in the budget as well. You see here, I'm playing around a bit with move objects and figuring it out. I don't know why I thought I could do a fence with these panels. So I tried sizing them up and down, which also never really done before. But then I realised that would take way too long, and I don't really like the look of it that much, so decided against it. Sorry for that pause there. I was trying to figure it out, trying to figure out how to size objects up and down, because I really wanted to try something new. All my builds that I do are very plain, and I'd seen somewhere about making doing that as kind of a statement piece at the front of the house, and I really liked it. And then there was also trying to match up the two boards, as I wanted it to kind of be like a barrier there. And then changing the colour, which I think I changed a couple of times. I had some trouble with the roof. It didn't match. I didn't know how to get it. I don't even know what I'm trying to do with the wall, but I was trying to fix it so that the roof didn't go into the other part. But I was trying to fix, yeah, I was still trying to fix that and wasn't working, so I ended up starting again and ended up removing the roof and just having it just the one panel. trying to make it a room. I don't know why, now thinking about it, that it would have made any difference whatsoever, but tried that, which I never realised didn't actually sit on the door properly. Even though, if you were to go to most of my, I was to show you my other builds that I've done, yeah, I've never really, that was my typical go-to roof. I didn't realise that did not work. Also realised it would kind of look a bit weird if I had the panelling on both sides, so I decided against it. And I was playing a lot with how that would work. I even tried a different colour, which I ended up removing as well. But I had a problem, and I don't know if I can fix it, or if so, how to, that it kept moving to attach to the wall, and that ended up stopping it. I did like that fence that I used. I don't know, I wouldn't really call it modern or anything, but I liked it. And then just trying to find some, I don't know the correct word for them, the pole thingies, which we don't typically use. Well, I don't really see much houses with them in Australia. And try to find some modern windows. I think the ones I typically use are usually from, I think the Parenthood pack are my typical ones. And then so I just decided to go with the big windows. I could have gone for the double ones, but I always have trouble, like on the right there, of matching it on, and I feel like having it on either side and having a gap in the middle I don't really like as much, so I decided just the one. And in saying that, you're not really going to see it anyway with what I'm doing now with the wood paneling. But I ended up really liking that. It was something different, something I haven't really done before. And I also decided to change the colour palette of, I don't know what colour I was going with. I was trying to match some browns and it wasn't working. So I decided black and white, nice and simple. You can't really go wrong with that. Also not very good with wallpaper. Well, not wallpaper, but paint and stuff like that. I'm usually would just go for the one thing all around. But I've really been noticing lately how nice it looks from other YouTubers on having certain wall parts, with different, I'm gonna keep saying wallpaper or paint or something like that. So I don't know how well I did it. I quite like it, but whether it matches too well, I'm not too sure. Because I just decided to go with that stone on the outside, and I didn't know about the roof. For me, it didn't work on the roof with either colour, so I think I ended up sticking it with the same. And I was trying to figure those out, and to me they don't feel very modern, so I didn't like having it too much, but I felt it looked weird without it. So that's why I decided just to have it on that one side, and then later on I think I add it to the deck at the back there. But I do quite like the front. I don't know if it really sticks with one particular style or it's just a mash of everything. And as we go onto the inside, I'm just trying to figure out the walling. I moved that around a few times. I figured out I didn't want to move the house outwards because then I think it would have messed with the front of the house, which I already spent so much time doing. So just trying to figure out a layout that worked. I didn't really want the two, I guess, front rooms to be bedrooms. I wanted a kitchen or a living area, but I couldn't figure out any other way to lay it out. So I just had to deal with the 2 bedrooms, and I definitely wanted 2 bedrooms. Even though it's a starter home, I still think it's good. Like, if you want your Sims to have a family, they can start off there, or if they're a single parent, or even as a study. Like, it's nice to have those options, so I think I really needed it. And also I had to extend the house back because there was no way I was going to fit a kitchen, a dining room, and a TV in there. That was tiny. I ended up changing the layout of the windows at the back there because I've also figured out that with the layout I had, I could have made it work, but I don't know if it was the best layout. And here I'm trying to figure out what is the best cost-effective flooring. I think that was only $4 per tile, and I think it's pretty simple floorboard. I quite like the look of it. I also tend to just stick to very basic paints that kind of match everything. I went a bit out there with the bathroom using subway tile. I love that subway tile so much. I stick usually with that white and black. Now having a black feature wall, I think I usually stick with the black feature wall, but I have done the white feature wall before when building. Now, for me to spend a while picking beds, because usually when I build houses, I usually use the cheap Motherlode, so I have a lot of money and I tend to pick better beds. It wasn't until I was looking at all those beds and then I was like, that is too expensive and it's going to put the value of the property up. Although, I guess at the end you can leave it unfurnished, but I didn't want to do that. You can always change the bed or upgrade it. So I wanted something simple, but because I guess I still ended up leaving it with higher quality items in the bedroom, I didn't have enough room to furnish it too much. So the furnishings in this house are pretty simple. They're not too fancy. And I decided to stick with the black curtains for both rooms. I wasn't too sure about the black in the master bedroom, but if you don't like it, you can always change it. I was playing around with the sizing up and down of rugs. Decided to not have any rug in either room. I didn't like it. I was like, I still have a bathroom I need to worry about and a kitchen, and that's going to be expensive. Although I do love to do all the decorations in the bathroom, all the extra stuff like making sure you have the toilet roll and the towels. Oh, and I love a good mirror, which unfortunately I had to change in the end because it wasn't going to fit. And I'm not used to having move objects on, so I didn't realise I had to be careful with the counters because they weren't doing it right. I love that bathroom. I love that big mirror. I wish I could have kept it. But I had to change it last minute because I was over, unfortunately. But I wonder now if I'd change it, if I made that back wall black instead of the side wall that we can't really see. One thing I know, only noticing it now, I forgot to add any laundry day stuff. I added the laundry basket, but I don't have any washing machines in the house. But not much I can do. I could have actually added a window as a kind of backsplash or something. but I was struggling with money by the end, so it was probably a good thing I didn't. And it's very basic. I usually like to use a more fancy stuff, especially when it comes to the stovetops. I don't like those really basic ones. They look really old, and it's not. I don't think it goes with the rest of the house. The rest of the house, the furniture, it looks quite nice, and those pieces kind of bring it down a little bit. But then that's always something, if you're playing, you can upgrade. And I didn't, when I was building this house, I didn't really have a sim in mind when I was doing it, but I did end up adding a sim in there, and I don't know if I'll keep him in there, because I could have I also made a family before, because I started a whole new game, and I might end up putting them in this house instead of him, because I feel like I made a single mum with a son, and I think they would probably, it would, I guess I kind of did have them in the back of the mind, even though I didn't put them in the house. I thought about them because I made a boy room. So, very basic, but it gets the job done. And I didn't really like that big box TV. There's not much decoration in this house. It's pretty bare. Well, I mean, it is a starter home, so you really have your basic necessities. You got a toilet, you got a shower, you got a kitchen, you got a bedroom. It's all the main stuff done. I mean, I probably should have spent less on the outside. I forgot the lights as well. Well, that's probably something important you should have. Not the most important thing. I was trying to figure out whether I should put a backsplash or something. I really do like doing like the exposed brick in the kitchen especially, but I thought it probably wasn't the right style for this house. Like, I didn't think that exposed brick or the stone that I used would be great. Now, if I had a fireplace or something, that would be good, but I just don't think it would have worked, so I just decided to leave it plain. At least, I mean, if I had the money, I would have put some shelving on top. Probably even would have added a long window, because I really love doing that if you have the right size kitchen. But just decided, well, I didn't really decide, didn't have enough money. And when my sim moved into it, having it furnished, I think he was left with $53. So, yes, pretty tight. I mean, I could have left the tree at the back, but I'm pretty sure those trees were only like $30 odd or something, so it wasn't much. And didn't pay attention to how much those plants were, so they could have put it up a little bit as well. And I haven't even added the back deck yet. By the way, I think I added this house up to the gallery, but I think when I noticed it, I haven't done the bottom half of the leveling. I haven't put paint on it. I forgot when I'd extended the deck. So that's one thing I noticed and haven't managed to go back and change yet. Trying to figure out if I should add anything, but I didn't realize how close I was with the money. So I decided, let's not add anything on the... I was going to add a stovetop, which too was also expensive. So I think here is where I'm starting to look at putting some cheaper stuff in there, because I was running out of money and there was still stuff I wanted to add. Especially there was no artwork in the house, nothing, so at least I was trying to at least over the master. I know it doesn't even have a dressing table or anything else. I haven't even put anything on the bedside tables, but at least a painting there. I mean, to some extent, you should be able to furnish it when you get it, and any bits and pieces. especially you need some stuffing. A bookshelf. Didn't realise, because I've never actually tried before, that you can put stairs on a angle. So then I had to try and do that, which I didn't like that either, so I had to extend that, and I was like, that's too little. And then if I extended it, it would have worked better with my roof, because I had the roof going over that weird little shape I have there at the back. So I think that ended up working out quite well. Putting the poles there, getting some stairs down. Obviously, I think it would look really nice if you could fence the whole thing, the backyard off. My opinion, I like to do that, especially when having decks or areas to go in and out on both sides. But I may disagree, because the one thing annoys me is when you have a front door and the Sims go towards the back door. So that's pretty much it for the back. It's very simple. I don't think I think at this stage I was over, so I decided to go back. Let's change it, make it more of a kid's room rather than, I guess, a teenager's room, and can add a bedside table in there. Then was still over, had to change my mirror, unfortunately, trying to figure out the one. I love big mirrors in the game. Don't like those small little ones. So I was trying to find one that was the right size and the right price, so I didn't get a big one, but got a decent size one. And there's the house completed. Hope you like it. We're going through. First time using this camera mode. So bear with me. Added a light, which I don't even remember seeing I put in there. Pretty simple, nothing too exciting to look at. Would look better had I had more decoration in there, but it's a starter home. You can add to it as you get more money. And add or change the wallpaper. It's just your bare necessities. Bathroom, probably the highlight, because it looks a lot more expensive than the rest of the house does. And there you go. That's the house. We're going to go out the back. Great view for a starter home though. Awesome. I am going to do another build. I'm going to start the 100 baby challenge. So bear with me. I'm going to create another home which is more about practicality rather than the looks. I've added it up. It's XX Amora XX if you would like to download it. I know, not very exciting, but bear with me. It was my first proper build, but I will be doing another one for my 100 baby challenge. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Follow me, subscribe to me down below. Check out my Twitch. Like and comment what I should do next. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.